Big Ten is expected to discipline Michigan for the in-person scouting and ongoing sign-stealing investigation will prohibit Jim Harbaugh from being on the sideline until the conclusion of the regular season. He'll be allowed to coach during the week. So I guess that means like someone else will coach Michigan tomorrow against Penn State, like during the game, and like Harbaugh won't be allowed on the sideline, I guess.
He doesn't. I don't think he calls the offensive or defensive plays. I don't think he does that. Again, people can correct me if I'm wrong. College coaches, I don't really know a lot about that, but just like, all right, like net of this. Okay, so he's like not. It's funny because he's traveling with the team to Penn State, so he won't be on this. Well, and here's the other thing: like, this is the expected discipline. The game is in 21 hours, so like announcing it before noon tomorrow. It's a noon kickoff. So, like they're going to announce it at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and he just can't be on the sideline. Like, Michigan can't appeal because it's a Big Ten. This is the whole thing with the Big Ten stuff. Like, you can't appeal it. I guess maybe they could file some kind of injunction or something. Maybe who knows? Like, I don't know if he'll be on the sideline during the game. I don't think. Well, I shouldn't say I don't think. I would be skeptical that this would have an impact on the betting market for the game, and it hasn't. The market's holding Michigan 4.5 for now, with a 4 on the board. I guess, like, if he can coach during the week and not be on the side, I guess there's some impact that maybe I'm not thinking of. It just seems like so much nothing to me. Okay, he's not on the sideline against Ohio State. It's kind of interesting, I guess. Not on the sideline tomorrow. Okay, yeah, we don't even know if he's not going to be on the sideline tomorrow. And then in the Big Ten title game, he'll just be back. And in the college football playoff, he'll be back. So okay. Like, put it this way, if they lost, I doubt it would be because he coached them during the week and then wasn't on the sideline. I doubt that very much, with how much stuff is kind of like passed down responsibility-wise to other people. So kind of seems like what we thought. This is about as harsh as I thought it was going to be, honestly. This is like kind of on the extreme end.
More harsh, right, than I think.
And it still feels like, okay. Like, okay. Like, what? All right, whatever, okay. I guess my question would be, I'm trying to try to remember. There's like a couple of funny stories I'm going to try to remember about this. I wonder where he can be during the game. Like, can he be in the locker room? Can he be in a box? Maybe there's going to be like a Dr. Seuss book or something. Can he be?
I picture him being on like a hospital, like a gurney, like what's his name? Like the Auburn coach's name is escaping. Like Hugh Freeze, like was when he was the coach of Liberty. Like with his foot like a cast. I just imagine, by the way, like Jim Harbaugh, like a combination of like Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series and like Bobby Valentine when he got ejected from that Mets game and came back in with like the fake like sunglasses and like nose and mustache. Yeah. Some kind of combination of that, like sneaking in to like still be, of course, like they're cheating. You don't think he's going to be like someone's going to be piped in with him on the sideline. 100% agree with Sam on that. So that's the thought, Sam, on the Michigan-Penn State game coming up tomorrow on Saturday. Just curious, and then like we'll spin this to the rest of your bets coming up for this weekend. Does it like change the way you kind of like conceptualize and like handicap early on, like Michigan, Ohio State? If Harbaugh's not on the sideline in the final regular season game of the year, the look ahead market there is about Michigan 6. Like this, if he like Penn State's one thing tomorrow. If he's not going to be on the sideline against Ohio State, and I don't know how this is going to play out legally or whatever, does it change the way you feel about that game?
I put more weight in the Ohio State game. Obviously, it's more of an understanding that James Franklin is just a Nimrod in big games and has been since he's been in Happy Valley. So I'm not really too concerned. And the other thing too, when you get suspended on Friday, you put the entire game plan in play. I mean, this is walkthrough day in college football. So everything that Michigan wants to do and has planned to do is basically already on the tray that's about to be dropped off on the table. So I'm not concerned this week. It would be a different conversation, though, spinning it forward, though, to Ohio State and Ryan Day. Yeah, I haven't even thought that far ahead, but I have no concern this weekend.
Per Andy Staples, who covers college football for On3 Sports, Michigan's plane has arrived in State College, and it's complete with video. They flew Delta, in case anyone was wondering. So Michigan's plane is on the tarmac. I don't know if this is like an airport, like some like the private airstrip or whatever, but Michigan has arrived, and we can see some Michigan staffers getting off the plane. Wonder if they had Wi-Fi, and they kind of like know what's going on.
Yes, the answer is yes. Right.
Like, are they going to tell Coach when he gets off? Oh, by the way, like, you might not be coaching tomorrow, Coach.
Yeah. All right. Everybody who's allowed on the sideline, stand to the right. Hang on a second, Coach. That's right.
Well, actually, it's you can coach during the week, but you can't like step off the plane like while the cameras are on you as part of the part of the Big Ten's ruling here.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Yeah,
it's all just so stupid. Like the Big Ten is
it's
so
very college
stupid.
football.
It's
very college football. Yeah, it's very dumb.
It's just when you think college football can't get any dumber, you do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
The over has gotten bet early in the week, and now it's kind of we're all over the place. I'll call it 45 right now or something like that. Your bets for Michigan, Penn State.
45 is key, so I see some 44s out there. I like the over in this game. There is a big appetite from Penn State to all of a sudden throw explosive plays. They had 15 throws over 20 yards through 7 games through Ohio State. Now all of a sudden it's Indiana and Maryland. They've had 12 passes over 20 yards. Mike Yurcich, the coordinator, says that we feel comfortable in the efficiency with Drew Aller and some of his targets. So you're going to see Penn State take some shots. On the other side, J.J. McCarthy has been fantastic with pressure. Last year, he only had 1 big-time throw and 93 dropbacks with pressure, and he just wasn't very good. This year, he has 8 big-time throws with less dropbacks so far. I mean, he's been great. He barely has a bump and adjusted completion percentage whenever he does get pressure. So I think he's going to be able to get downfield. But we're going to know pretty fast. Like I said, the game plan is not going to change in this. So if they come out and both teams are trying to establish the rush and play pile of 3 yards and a pile of dirt football, then it's probably going to go under. But I think it's going to go over because both these teams are taking shots downfield.
It's outstanding. All right. We boarded the locomotive. And it's almost time to get the Ken's entire college football card for the weekend. Of course, the card will feature a bet on Michigan and Penn State. But before we get to the bet, you know what we must do? We dance. Less coordinated, me or you. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
This is like welcome to our new movie, White Men Can't Dance, featuring Nick Costos and Ken Barkley.
Yeah.
Ken, what is the college football card for this weekend? And if you'd be so kind, you know what? Honestly, you could either start or close dealer's choice with Michigan and Penn State. It should either be the first game or the last game that we do.
Sure. No one's ever confused me with someone who had rhythm. No one's ever made that mistake before. Totally agree with you there. Yeah, like there'd be like public sides or whatever. Like, I don't really care about that. I care about the price in Michigan, Penn State. Everyone's on Michigan. Well, I don't really care about that. I care what the number is. All right, like tell me what it is. Well, it was 5 and it's got betting down, and now there are 4s at half the sports books. Like, sorry. Okay, great. Now I'm with everybody. Now I like Michigan. We do this really funny thing. This doesn't mean I have to be right, by the way. I like Michigan last week. Purdue with like a Hail Mary 4th down over the shoulder. Like, great. Like, that's going to happen sometimes. Cool, whatever. Like, you're on to the next one. And doesn't mean I have to be right. Just, all right. Maybe I don't know whether Jim Harbaugh is going to be on the sidelines. I do know a couple things. I know James Franklin's the worst big game coach in the history of college football. I do know that. And it used to be Harbaugh, actually, for a while. Now it's definitely James Franklin. I know that Penn State played Ohio State, a team with like a really good defense. And Ohio State's offense is brutal. Like, they can't move the ball. But I know Penn State played them, and they couldn't move the ball whatsoever. They were like 0 for 19 on 3rd down, couldn't score. Great. Here comes Michigan. They're better. Maybe they're the same defensively as Ohio State because Ohio State has like 9 pros, but like, you get the idea. Like, this is going to be really tough. And we do this thing with really good teams, and I'm guilty of it sometimes too. I guess not this year because Michigan's the team, but I remember like Joe Burrow LSU or like some of these other teams that like really catch fire in the middle of the year. Every week we like come up with a reason to be like, well, but like they haven't played that kind of team yet, or like they haven't done that, and then they just nuke everybody. He was like, hey, you know what'd be cool? Betting on them, like, all the time. Like, that'd be really neat. And Michigan hasn't been in test games where we'd have those conversations yet. Like, they played a different kind of market, a different kind of game. But just like, we do this thing where, well, if you haven't played anybody, then it must be that you're bad. It can't be that you haven't played anybody and you might actually be really good. Has to be that you're bad. Won't accept any other explanation. Haven't played anybody? Well, I don't know. Well, who's the toughest team they played? I don't know. One of the teams they beat 90-0. One of the 20 of them. Like, could be really good. I don't know. I saw Penn State play Ohio State. Can they score in this game? Really? I'm skeptical. It's okay. It's okay to see a team that hasn't played a lot but been really good and be like, they might just be really good. They might just be awesome. And they don't have to be. Michigan could lose this game. This isn't like some locked-in number or something where it's like, I know what's going to happen. I just know that we're getting really close to pick the winner of the game in a game with, like, I think the best team in the country by far against a team that's good but has a lot of flaws.